Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to go through all the different profile lines and therefore give you a better understanding of your basic character, the way that you relate to others and your learning style. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Leandra, I'm a human design expert and I work in the holistic health field. And let's get started with the profile lines and what is profile actually. So when you have calculated your human design chart, which you hopefully have at this point, and if you have not, you can check the link down below. You can download my app Halo for free and calculate your chart in very detail and read even about yourself. And you will find on your chart two numbers. So it will either say 1-3 or 6-3 or 2-4 or whatever the case may be for you. There are always two numbers and there's a slash in between, and that is your so-called profile. There is 12 different profiles and it will always be a combination of two numbers. And we have the numbers 1 till 6. And each of these numbers gives us a different archetype or a different character on your being. So while your human design chart, the graphic that you see, is the energy outline of your energy system, is your energy body and how it functions, the profile is basically the costume that this energy body is wearing. So the costume or the character that you go through life. And the profile therefore can already tell us a lot about a person and how they navigate life. So a manifestor with one specific profile, let's say, and a manifestor with a different profile will act extremely different just based on their profile, even though they might, they're both the same energy type and they might even have a similar chart. So shall we get started? Let's move through all the different lines, and what I will do is I will go from 1 till 6, and in this video I will not go into all of these profiles, but you can pick the numbers, the two numbers that you have, and combine them with each other. And you will always be a combination of the two of them. The difference between them is that the first number is your so-called personality. So this is what you resonate more with probably and what you can relate with more. This is what is in your conscious side. And the second number will always be in your subconsciousness, meaning this is something you don't actively have always full access to. And this is also something that therefore later in life we become more aware and we're kind of growing into our second number. We're growing into the second part of us basically, or opening up also that chapter without losing obviously the first number of your profile. So if you take the two numbers that you have, you can combine them also with each other. And sometimes we see that it's very harmonious because these energies are very similar. And sometimes we see that these energies are very opposing from another. And therefore there can sometimes be a little bit of a push and pull dynamic. And then it's about you to learn how to navigate these and how to bring them back into balance, because we need both of them and we need both of these energies in order to be fully us. And if they're fighting against each other, we have a problem. So we need to bring them into harmony and give both of them the space and the attention that they deserve. So let's start with the 1. If you have a 1 in your profile, either in the first or in the second part, this is called the investigator, which means that you need knowledge. You need to dig deeper. You need to want to come on the foundation and on the core of things. So that means that you're always a little bit of a seeker of the truth, a seeker of knowledge, a seeker of wisdom. And the positive attribute of that is that you know a lot. You will inform yourself. You will go down the rabbit hole if something is interesting for you. You will study a lot. You will learn a lot. You will go into introspection to find out more about the things that interest you. And the goal of all of that is to get security, to get safety, because you need a lot of safety. And that safety comes through studying, through investigating, etc. The lower side or the downside of that can be that you are an over-perfectionist, that you hold yourself back because you think you don't know enough yet, and you always think you're not good enough. So there is really this barrier inside of you where you think, oh, I cannot share my wisdom, or I cannot do anything yet because I'm not good enough yet, or I don't know enough yet. So there always needs to be the balance. You need to have that solid foundation also in order to share yourself, to feel good about and safe about what you know and in your safety. But also don't let that hold yourself back from going out there and already doing something. So you need to create that balance for yourself. So don't let the perfectionism hold you back. Does that resonate? Let me know in the comments. If you are a 2 in your profile, if you have a 2 profile line, then you are the so-called hermit or the natural. So the first word hermit is very self-explanatory, right? So people with a 2 line, they need a lot of time and space on their own for themselves, for their introspection, for harnessing the things that they love to do. And usually they will have phases of that when they just withdraw and just want to do their own things and want to just go after their hobbies or whatever they love to do. And they just do that naturally. And they don't sometimes even notice that until people come and call them out again and ask them where they have been, what they've been doing, etc., and call them back out into life. So there will always be this push and pull dynamic of holding back or going inward and then going outward again. So there is a big portion of introvert in you. And while you are in this introvert phase, you usually go after the things that you love, right? So in these things that you love, that is where you have the natural gift. And you are meant to be very naturally gifted. You are meant to be naturally good at things. However, the challenge with that is that you don't see that in yourself because it comes so natural to you, and because you do that so much anyways in your withdrawal, in your hermit zone, that you don't even notice that you are naturally good with this. So it needs the recognition of other people to call you out for that, with that again, and ask for your gifts to share in order for you to sometimes, to at one point also be able to recognize them or to understand that you have these natural gifts and talents. So if you're unsure what your natural gifts and talents are, see what other people give you as a feedback, or what they call you out for, what they ask of you, because that is a sign that you are naturally good with that. So people with the 2 sometimes tend to be a little bit more introverted or a little bit more on the shy side, especially in the beginning. But then when they open up, they're actually not that shy anymore. But there is this initial coyness with them that comes along, and this deep need for alone time. So if you have a 2 in your profile, allow yourself to take this alone time again, and without getting lost in this hermit zone, without getting lost in this aloneness. So also see when people are calling you out again, and see what they're recognizing you for and what they're calling you out for, because that is a great indicator of what you came here to do in this lifetime. If you have a 3 in your profile, then you are the adventurer, the explorer, the person that needs to do the things in order to learn. And that often brings a great deal of trial and error and a lot of mistakes. I don't like to call them mistakes, because in the end, for you, it is literally just a learning lesson. However, you can sometimes perceive it as, oh, I do so many mistakes. Why is this constantly happening to me? Why am I always failing? Why is there so much chaos? So you really need to learn and accept that this is a huge part of you, and you only learn by trial and error. You only learn by testing and trying things out. Also very much connected to the physical plane, which could mean that you always are prone to accidents, or you hit yourself all the time. You always have like blue spots on your body or something like this. So that is also part of the trial and error process, that you experience through the physical plane, through your body, what works and what doesn't work. As it's also so connected to the physical plane, these are people who can potentially become very successful in a material plane, because they have figured out everything that is not working in order to know what is working. So that counts also for their learning style, that counts for their relationship style, and that counts for their general life path, learning through trial and error. So with a 3 line, it is often that you don't find your long-term partner early in life because you need to go through all these trial and error lessons also in your dating life in order to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And it can sometimes bring a great deal of frustration or of pessimism, because the 3 so often feels like running into a wall. So the 3 also needs to learn to take it with ease, to take life with ease in general, and more as a play instead of taking it so seriously, because otherwise they can really slip down into the pessimism of things. If you have a 4 in your profile, then you are the networker. In original language, it's called the opportunist. However, this is a little bit negative connoted, I think. So it's more about building connections, or it's about finding safety through your environment, finding safety through your closest people. And that usually isn't a whole bunch of people. This is usually very selected handful of people that are really close to you. Either it's your family, or it's your friends, or it's your work colleagues, or whoever the case may be. You need stable and secure connections with people in order to feel safe, in order to feel stable. And I often see that this is, as always, right, like there's this the challenge with what we're also here to have or meant to be. And if people don't have that community, or they struggle having this community, it can really feel draining, or it can feel tough, or you feel like you are not yourself when you do not have this amazing network that is supporting you. Because your network is also really here to support you on your path, and really here to give you all the opportunities, meaning bringing you a new job opportunity or a new dating opportunity, etc. So the theme is really friendship, or the theme is connection. And as I said, the challenge is that sometimes this is the case that you don't have that, and you're striving so much for it, or you want it so much, but you don't know how to actually create that community around you that you so urgently want and desire. And the other downside could be that you're taking advantage of people and take what comes the way without actually giving back. So there always needs to be this give and take dynamic in order to establish these solid foundations that you wish and desire. In terms of dating or partnership, your partner also needs to feel like your best friend or like a friend. So either you are maybe friends first and then it develops into partnership, or you have the feeling of with them that they are like your best friend as well, or and you get introduced through common friends to them and therefore get to know them. So that could be the case here. The 5 as a profile line is the heretic in original language, and the 5 is here to bring problem solutions, to be a different thinker, so to think outside of the box and therefore bring solid solutions to people in whichever way. And you're here to bring solutions that are maybe unheard of, that are new, that are a bit controversial maybe as well, and you're here to bring them to a bigger mass, to bring them to a lot of people, also to strangers. Whereas the 4 is only here to have really good impact on the network, the 5 is really also meant to work on a bigger scale. And a lot of famous people we see have a 5 in their profile because they're really here and meant to touch a lot of people with their being or with their problem solving. The challenge here is that people will always see something in you or have projections in you, expectations in you, in order to get their problem solved. However, this is always a projection of themselves that is get put into you. So you need to learn how to separate yourself from that and to find a healthy way of communicating what you can deliver and what you can't deliver, in order not to have this huge projection field around you where people then potentially let you fall and let you down if you do not deliver on these expectations that they have put upon you. So it's really important that you know what you can do, what you can deliver, and what you can't, and put that offer exactly like this out there, and also set boundaries if you feel like it doesn't feel correct for you to deliver on something or to serve someone where it doesn't feel correct to you. So that is the one thing. And the other thing is it's always seen as a seducer. So people will always have first a really positive connotation with you, or will see you in a really positive light, and you sometimes feel there is a lot of expectation therefore on you, and you might project your own like a perfectionism onto you, that you feel like you cannot even deliver on that. So then it can happen that this mask basically falls off at one point for other people, and then they see you with your true colors, and then they're disappointed of that. So that's again why you, for example, in the dating process, you can maybe leave yourself a little bit of time, be very open, and show yourself as authentic as you can, and always follow your inner voice, your so-called strategy and authority when it comes to who you want to indulge with and who you want to connect with, so it doesn't happen that people let you fall and let you down, because that can be really devastating for you and make you feel like you're not good enough, or make you feel like a failure, and that can cause a downward spiral. However, you're here to help a lot of people and to be maybe in some sort in the public eye, and to give really good solutions for people's problems. If you are a 6 lion, well, that's a very, very special one. Is the process is already finished basically at the 5, and the 6 is the transition profile, which means it's a little bit aloof, it's a little bit outside of the box, let's say. And the 6 is called the role model. So the 6 has already gone through the whole stage, through the whole process, and therefore is here to role model everything that it has learned, everything that it has gone through, and lead as an example, to lead as basically a role model for others, where others can come to and ask for advice. However, as this is such a special profile line, it is not necessarily the easiest one, specifically not in the first 30 years, because the 6th line goes through 3 different stages. And the first stage is from birth to around 28, 29, 30. That's when it's felt most, the shift and the transition, where you come from the first phase into the next. And the first phase is all about trial and error. So you should also listen to the 3 line, because your 6th line navigates like a 3 line, which means it learns through trial and error, through adventure, through exploration. And that can feel sometimes really chaotic, really pessimistic, and feel like you're maybe a failure in life, and nothing is working for you, and everything is really delayed, right? Because there's so much turbulence in the first 30 years. So then a big shift is happening, and you're coming into the roof phase, which is called where you go more inward from the external world. You suddenly pull your energy inward, and it will feel a little bit more calm around you, where you focus your energy on yourself, on your healing. And you will need to do quite a bit of a healing as a 6th line, because the first 30 years, as I said, are quite turbulent. So you want to focus your energy on yourself, and it can feel like you sometimes don't really have a lot of energy for a lot of other things anymore, because all your energy is suddenly inward. And as the shift is so dramatic, you could sometimes feel that something is wrong with you. And I have a 6th line as well, and a 3 line, so I'm very aware of this process, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing in this transition phase, where you think like, oh, what is suddenly happening? What is wrong with me, right? I don't want to go out there and party all the time anymore and do and go and travel. I just need this introspection time as well. However, this time is super important that you give yourself the attention and the energy that you need in order to regain your strength and in order to calm down and heal. And a lot of people therefore come to spirituality around the age of 28, 29, 30, or even in the years after, in order to have the modalities and the tools to heal. And a lot of people I work with actually have 6th line, because they're looking for deep healing tools and how to understand themselves better and to heal from all the chaotic and dramatic experiences that might have happened in your earlier life. So this phase will guide you on your right path. So in that phase, it is very probable that in this next 20 years until 50, you find the relationship that you would like to have. You will find the job or the direction in life that you would like to go to, or your hobbies. So in this time, everything can fall a little bit more into place and becomes a little bit more easy. And this time is serving you to become really good at whatever you're going after, or to become more settled within yourself and to harness your skills, because then you're here with the age of 50 to go out again in full bloom and to serve as that role model that we were talking about, and role model the this wise energy, this kind of Buddha energy for others, where others look up to you and ask for advice. Not that you're better than anyone else, but you have gone through all these experiences, you have learned from that, and you have gained this incredible wisdom about so many things in your life that others will feel inspired by that and will ask you for advice probably. And that can already happen in the years prior to that. However, the full bloom and the breakthrough happens around the age of 50. And your relationship style is that you're looking for a soulmate. However, in the first 30 years, it is most probably, it's not so probable, let's say, that you find your soulmate, because you need to go first through these trial and errors. So if you're a 6th line, everything is a little bit late bloomer, right? But like you have, it gets easier the longer you go. So I know that process really well. And in my first 30 years, I always thought like something is wrong with me, because like, why is nothing working out? There was so much trial and error, being a 6-3 even, because it's like double 3 energy. But that was necessary in order to come to that calmness now, and to come to my passion, etc., and know what I want. So allow yourself to go into that process as well. So yeah, if you want to know more about your profile and how these two numbers work together, you can book a reading with me. Always happy to connect one-on-one, because that's the only way on how to actually interpret your whole chart all together, obviously make sense of it. And yeah, let me know if that resonated. I'm sending you so much love, and bye. I see you next time.